Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and get into this. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for checking in with us. I appreciate you waiting. If you're watching this after the stream is aired, then just skip ahead till now. How did you know I was going to say that? So, we are on Xcraft here, and I've just been goofing off a little while. I thought, while I was doing this, I might as well stream it. I am the owner of the server, first things first, so I can do what I want. So I've got this big area, this big kingdom I've built. Some of these things came from like Planet Minecraft. Some of them I built, some of them some builders for the server built. We all tried to keep it all the same theme. These paths that you see here, they're all actually done with a pathing tool. I used World Edit for it. I designed the lamps, and then I copied it and pasted it in with World Edit, rotated them, made them fit. Don't get me wrong, it's still work, but it's definitely not done all in survival mode. So, and it's not all my original ideas for builds or anything of that nature. But I've had a whole lot of fun making this place, and it is a lot of fun. I'm actually doing this, and I play with a pretty small group of people here for the server recently, and we're all just kind of playing at this place, doing our thing. There's a castle built into a mountain there, which also another thing, came from Planet Minecraft somewhere. I'm pretty sure. If you go on there, you can find it. Whoever built it, wonderful job. Let's see here. It's just honestly there was so much. I think there was so much going into it. It just got difficult to keep track of. But I'm gonna just replace this with that because it looks awesome in this texture pack. What I was doing actually was I had gone to a test world of mine, and keep in mind I did play on Xcraft survival server from many years ago. They shut down, and all of the community came over to Xcraft that was left. We migrated their builds, their ranks that they had purchased on that server. I honored those ranks, and they got the rank equivalent on our server, no extra charge. We transferred their builds for them. Many of their items were able to be brought along. So all that's really cool. But they during the time that I was playing on Xcraft, I would give it probably about 5 years, about 5.5 years before it really shut down. That I was back. I played it originally around 2000, maybe 2015, and I didn't play for a couple years, and then I came back and played for about 5 years, and then they shut everything down before migrating to 1 point. I think it was supposed to be going. It was 1.12.2, and the new update was coming out, or it had been out for a long time, and they're having difficulty migrating. So anyway, during that time I was there, I built a lot of things, and one of the things that I really liked to build was a kingdom. So I have a massive kingdom, but under that kingdom I have a network of vault systems. These vault systems are things that I would rent out to other players so they could keep their things safe on my property. This is an example of one of the vaults. This is a really known lock system, but I have made this a little bit more complex, and I'll show you how. So what we've done here is, if we look around, we can't really, there's nothing. Obviously there's a hidden something somewhere. What is this? What else would you do with that? The objective is that you shouldn't be able to get through this unless you pay for a vault here, or the passcode. You'll toss an item down in here. This unlocks the vaults, and there are multiple doors here, so it's not just one, but instead there are 6 vault doors. This is no longer lit up for a reason, and I'll show you why. So now we're in the vault. This is also a bunker. They're not going to find you in here. This I meant to fix this. Anyways, now we need to get out of here, but these are shulker boxes. There's storage everywhere in this place. Oops, I can't really tell what's what with this resource pack. This needs to be replaced. So I took this and cut it out of the ground from, or copied it out of the ground from under my kingdom, which I pasted into a test world. I brought it with me when I left OC, and I've brought it with me to every server that I've ran so far. And this is one of the original vaults, but it's one of the last ones that I actually built on the server. I've been adding to it today, so I did add a trip switch, so the doors will open again. They all open at the same time. Now, the lights. As you notice, this is all timed and automated. These kick down to reveal the switch, the lever. If you do this just a few down, you would notice that the first one locks first. So it doesn't really matter because they can't access the switch, and they're not allowed to break through the blocks because we have World Guard. But I can break anything because this is mine, and yeah. If you see that this is not lit up, that could be a problem. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here because this system is, like, I've been experimenting with this. So these doors, when they are shut, even if you break through this, will not open. They are locked shut. Rotating this does nothing. There's a safety lockout that I added into this today. Now these lights are lit. That means you can actually, it's actually ready to receive an item. So for this, we will throw a creative block down in there, activate that system. I don't have it set to a specific item yet, but I will. Only the owner will have the key to that. They'll open this. Of course, that door's shut. We went through here, and we're good to go. What those lights are is when you throw the item in here, it goes through a system under here, and it triggers an observer, and that's where all the magic happens. That's where the magic starts. And let me just show you what exactly the magic looks like. So the item falls down through the ground. There's a hopper chest here, which the actual hopper technically extends about a quarter of the block way into this block, and the block above it kind of treats it like it itself is a hopper. So I can throw an item on top of that block, and it will fall through it into the hopper chest, and down this hopper chain. Now there's an observer here observing block state changes. So each time an item might pass through this, it's going to generate a pulse, and every time the item will leave this, it generates a pulse. So that's 2 pulses that the one item will drop. Those pulses run through here into this and pulse twice. This is basically like a pulse merger. This thing is it will combine 2 redstone pulses that are very close together into one. So that is sending power all the way over here and activating this. Now I used to use this whole section for an old school delay bank, because I needed to delay how long the doors were open up there originally. Or I think it was I wanted to delay how long the reveal is on the stairs, so it reveals the actual key to opening the door. So I then changed it to this modernized design, which works off of hoppers. So inside you'll see that there's 64 blackstone there. Whenever I activate the hopper, let's see here. Let me go into creative down here. I can't pulse that. It needs a reverse. So the pulse has got to be in reverse there. And I happen to have what I need to make this happen because I'm in creative. I will fix this and show you. When I power this, even for a moment, that pulse marker. So that caused this to update, which kicked this redstone over. It activated the circuit, which just pushes this from back to forth, usually. But in this event, I have a set of hoppers back here, and once this hits 64, which is all of the item inside, it'll pass those items over to one, and then that one will activate. Now this is locked. I do have basically a locking mechanism on this, preventing this from coming out too many times. Once this dumps back over, you should see power in this circuit, or at least you would think. Because it's locked, it won't dump it back over here and exchange it and keep moving this. This is locked in and nothing will drop. So when that happens though, it sends power back out this direction and down. Way down here, and it's doing some stuff. This sends a bunch of the power up this way, which activates the that actually activates the stairs right there. Ah, no, this is my persistent lock. So this lock right here only deactivates whenever those doors open, and when the doors would open, whenever this thing drops. The mantle, the little false stairs, when they drop, this lock disengages and allows those to be opened up. And if they're not already open, it will try to forcibly open them because it will turn the redstone off in this room. This is a reverse, it's like a redstone torch chain. You just run the torches up one another, underneath one another, separated by a block. And this one would turn that one off, this one would turn the one above it off, and they would just interchange. They just keep flip-flopping that way. I'm not exactly sure what the technical term for a lot of this is. I've just messed with redstone a lot for a long time. But you can see a lot of these banks there's 4 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they all are linked together. I'm looking around here. Okay, it's looking like this would do exactly nothing because this is not how this is wired any longer. I changed the wire in here today, and I just found something. So anyway, when one of these triggers, it triggers the other one. Which triggers the other one. You'll notice that each and every one of these hoppers have 64 in there, and they're all triggering around the same time to start. This one has a timer that's twice as long because it's the light timer, but this timer itself is actually triggered off of this one, which controls the door lock. The door lock mechanism is actually over here, over there, but that one is triggered by this one. No, it's triggered by this one over here. Anyway, this all got very, very confusing today. It took about 4 hours. This I already had set up. And yeah, that's our vault system. Kingdom X vault system. I have not, you can see where I pasted it in down here. I haven't really done anything else. I did mainly keep it confined. There is a small delay bank in use back here. I was able to shorten it, and that's all I had left of it. I didn't add any more. That's just all that was left. It used to extend all the way up here. Right about right in here. This was the back end of that delay bank where my power output was and where the power input was. I just reused it for one of these styles. And I don't know whose design that is. Saw it a long time ago on the internet on a tutorial or something. If we go up, you'll notice we're way down there. And I needed a way down there. Well, this makes sense if you're me and you have 72,000 health and can just do God mode or heal yourself. To someone renting this vault, nah. How are they supposed to get down there? I mean, they can't really throw water down or anything. This is areas basically it's claimed. I don't know if I've regioned it or not. Yes, this is a regioned area. I could make it to where they wouldn't die, but it would be even cooler if I did something cooler. I would like to, because I have no idea what the heck. Oh, I understand. I'm at the top of my roof. So this needs to be filled in here. Just like that. And I do use World Edit. I'm really not too bad at it. And I will be using it for this. If you watch, you might learn how to use World Edit. So, got that selected, and I have the bottom corner down here selected. What is that material? Stone, andesite, diorite. Replace stone, andesite, diorite, copper ore, dirt with quartz block, quartz brick. Alright. And this will just be replaced manually. Looking pretty fortified. Really scary looking though. What is that? Granite? I didn't do granite. Wait, hold on. I didn't do that right. Granite. There we are. Now, that's cool and everything, but you don't want to die, so you add a gravity tube. And we would create it and probably make it for like 64. I'm trying to think if, really trying to think if 64 will be high enough, but if it's not, we could just remove it. We'll see. Let's check this out. Oh my gosh, it's gonna have to be 65. That was so close though. Alright, I need to just probably, I think I can just break this. Yeah. I'm gonna go 65. Alright, now that should take us high up enough to where we will be able to get out of this thing to ground level, just perfect. I'm just running, I don't fall right into it. It is noticeable, I will say that. And you can really see the light coming through there. So I think I wanna remove that light. Whoa, bro. It's actually kind of hard to do anything in there. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to use night vision to be able to see. And just shift to go down. And you won't take fall damage, I'm pretty sure. We're going to go GMS. I'm going to take this thing off my shoulders because it's making me invincible. And make sure God mode is not selected, and we're going down. Nah, so you don't take damage falling down a gravity tube. So that's really, really cool. And all you have to do is stand here and look up. Gravity tubes is another plugin that I've used for a very long time. It's a simple thing, but oh my gosh, it's so good. I mean, look at that. Like, I didn't have to fly. A player doesn't have to be able to fly to get down there. That's no weird warps or anything needed like that. Just a simple levitation in one axis type thing. Like, I don't know. It's pretty awesome. So now I think the only other thing that I'm going to do is I'll probably put like an iron trap door on there. Or something similar. Go to the trash can here. I can throw this stuff away because I didn't pay anything for a lot of it. I mean, it's pretty easy to see what was building materials and what wasn't. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Go into my inventory and I'm gonna go to a trapdoor, but I could do something really cool. I don't want to let people down there. It's fine if they go down there. I'm gonna use the dark oak trapdoor right here. And there it is. Anyone who sees anything cool, know that it was created by lots of other people. don't get me wrong, we did make a lot of this, but it's definitely like dragging out of place here. Now this guy needs to be replaced. Oh yeah. Alright. So that's going to be actually just the start of the vault system. We're going to be bringing in the rest of the vaults as well. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it because their redstone is crazy. Man, they got some crazy redstone. I could simplify it so much now. But you guys, give me just a moment here. I'm gonna hang out just right. What? Huh? I don't understand. There we go. I just didn't understand what I was looking at. I'm gonna be right back. I've got to get a drink. Alright, you guys, I am back here. Something to drink. Short break. Looks like that needed replaced. Okay, so earlier I saw that this also, you know, it does have. I am back here. It actually does have another hopper cart underneath it. So. Looks like I have a bit of a feedback loop on my mic. Alright, I think that we're good. Alright, sorry about that now. Gonna turn myself back up just a little bit here. Hopefully, I am still hearable. Let's go to the test world. I'm gonna go to P warp here. I'm the only one that's got any warps. And it's actually at X evolved. Now you notice this one is a bit different. I mean, it's absolutely the same, but it's definitely different. This was the original, what I was using. This is what I was doing with everything. I had something there originally pointing down. I will again, but I'm going to use a custom sword for that. This is 2. This is 1. Yeah, I had some odd, like I just made a few mistakes getting this centered, I guess, back in the day. So there is something back here, and it's really, really cool. It's another one of those lock systems, and I can't even remember how to make those. But if I was to put that thing there, and I do need a redstone torch. I'll place it. Down opens it. Yeah, so closed is here, and yes, I am missing a block. I feel like that doing that is not going to fix it either. So the first one opens this one, the second one opens this one. And that absolutely did not fix that. I have a piston back here that is not acting right. And it's because it is not being powered by anything. Thing is, I think when the piston is powered, it breaks the redstone. I feel like it did not used to do that. That's not a back in 1.12.2. That wasn't something that would happen. So in order to power this, I think the best thing for me to do, if I'm looking at this from a different perspective, like I've not touched this in years, from what I can tell, this sends power there and sends it around. Now, I apparently had issues with the power going around. And it would be very difficult to, let me see here. This would have to be powered directly, I feel. But then how would we power that one? That's the... Let's do a little testing here. And I'm sure I left a lever down here because I always put levers. Yeah, I have a lever for testing. And I also don't need this in my hand, don't need that in my hand, and probably don't need that in my hand. Let's see here. Let's grab us a piece of redstone, run this over, and now that's a loop. We can't do that. But we can do this. And then, let's see, if this is power, can I steal power off of this? This block is, it's not powered, but it could be. If I put that right there, that block is powered. Yes, it is. And then alright, let's trigger the system here. Which one's his? Not a single one of them. None of them activated. Ah, the bottom one. The bottom one is moving. Well, that's not going to be enough. That won't be enough either. So I just stole power from here because I feel like why is that there? And if I break it, what will I break? I won't break anything. I don't know why that's there. That should not be there. Okay. That could cause problems. Go away. Just getting these three. This is, like, usually this would be pretty easy, but this is a pretty tight space. I could run one above. That would be one easy way. Is could run that like that. I think that should activate the top one. It did. Actually, it activated all of them. What the? Okay. I have no idea what just happened. I'm trying to, but I am not. Okay. Yeah, they're all being powered. bothers me is I'm not sure how exactly, and I like to know how. Okay, so this is open. Alright, cool. This is another vault system down here. Look, these are all shulker boxes. It's not a block. But there should absolutely be an item frame. It's on a timer as well. There's another vault. This is another rentable vault. Now that vault is locked open, but if you were to lock yourself in by accident, looking at stuff, checking it out, I don't know. Yeah, you're pretty much safe. Nothing's gonna happen. Oh. I'm stuck. Nah, I'm not. I'm just joking. I got a button here. Trigger that whole system. Override it anyway. I would like to put these here. It'll fool someone. These are shulker boxes, more shulker boxes. That's a door. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I think there's the next one. So now it works. This just drops down into another box. This is where I kept some very very dangerous items on the server on Xcraft that I didn't want anyone to find. Sorry, Wesley 27. Yeah, I wasn't malicious, man. I was just trying to help our community and keep the fun rolling. What an amazing server. Great community, great people. It takes a long time to get people that are that committed to playing on a server like that. Like a lot of Xcraft people were dedicated. Yeah. Tough to build that community back. But thankfully, in your absence, and well, not saying you were completely absent, in the time that you were gone, which was quite frequently, and your two admin, developer, coder people, Cody and Corey, I think. Anyway, yeah, they weren't on as much either, so I was able to use plugins, or rather mods, for my Minecraft client that I probably shouldn't have been using and wouldn't have been using had there been administrators present to help. But I definitely took care of business. We had a blast. Didn't mess anything up on the server. Now, Adam's thing, that wasn't me. I didn't do anything. I wasn't even messing with anything at that point in time. Whenever Adam figured out about diamond blocks or diamonds and or shulker boxes or something. He was doing something. Maybe, I don't know what he was doing. But when he figured out about item frames and creative and going back and forth, oh, dude, it was over. I had actually, I needed in-game money to fund the building of my kingdom. I had a whole like staff team to pay, and this guy was like, "Hey, I got a bunch of got a bunch of money for you if you wanna trade some stuff." So I was like, "All right, cool." So we traded, and then next thing I know, the money was taken from my balance, and Adam was banned. And then he came back, and I think he came back, and then he done something else to get himself banned once again. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, I'm running around in this room right now. Well, you would be stuck if you didn't throw something down in one of these corners. You just throw things down on the ground, just throwing it down there, eventually you'll find... Oh! You'll find a doorway that works. This actually leads back up to the very top level of my vault system. This is an exit. Or is it? I mean, you really just never know. It's just not like... I don't guess it's super obvious. You see, it'd be difficult to just get this. Oh. Yep. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's something here though. Yep. If you didn't know any better, you would think that all of the tunnels up there were just quartz tunnels in the ground that led to rooms, and some of the rooms look pretty unsuspecting. You wouldn't really know that there was something in there. I'm pretty sure this button doesn't do anything. This was supposed to stay locked. It's not firing anymore. What's up with it? Oh, whoa. Now, I will say, this was Cody and Corey here. They created this for me when they were showing me how to do redstone. So I've got a door system that they helped me with in these vaults. Right there, the stairs. And they color coded these things. They're really, really good teachers. Were able to show me this system. Signal lengthener. So I just started making those really, really long. I was like, alright, it's a signal lengthener. I lengthen it, it makes the signal longer. Yeah, just looks like a tunnel here. Down in here was one of the places that I stayed at. Like, I kept all of my stuff down here. This was my personal vault. If I can figure out where the key goes. No way. Well, how about this? it was here. Oh. Whoa. That was something. Wonder if I could get away with. Oh. Oh, just because I stepped on the pressure plate. I forgot I had a trigger down here. I've got one up there on that button on the side too. So this is my clock room. Had a lot of clock stuff in there. This was my personal storage here. Now you can see through some of my shulker boxes because their textures are all goofed up from my resource pack. But this was where I kept all of my things, like my things. I've got a button here that will allow me to get out. Yep. Yeah. Okay. This is an ode to Obsidian Craft. This, I think I'd been on the server for around 5 years once I made this. I had made so many vaults by that point. Just open this bad boy up and break that. Go ahead and press the button. Close all that back up. This was one of my builders. This was one of his vaults. His name was Dragon Mouse. And that's a top and bottom. This is where his vault was. He kept a lot of his things in here, and there is also another vault within this vault, but I will not show anyone where that vault is at or how it is accessed. Yeah, but I will show you the way out of here. This corner opens this door. This yeah. You know, I really don't know what the code is here. But the good news is that I did take a screenshot of it earlier while I was resetting it. At least I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of it. It's not looking like I took a screenshot of it, but I know I took a screenshot of it. Let me see here. I can tell. Top one's off, so the top one's correct. The bottom one's the only one that needs to be fixed. So I need to shut this one off. That one doesn't matter. The middle one needs to be off. And the one on this one. Okay. So you just need to turn this one off and this one off. Right? No, is the middle one on? No way. Ah, this one over here. It actually goes up. Oh. Yep. Alright, so if I didn't make a screenshot before, I'll be making a screenshot now. Using Windows Shift S to copy that. And we will be saving that. I remember saving this file earlier. I saved it in screenshots. That's okay. Now I have two. So these vaults actually take you a little bit further down. The door takes you into a side vault, which is very, very large, lots of room. There's a couple other vault entrances in there, little side vaults, little secret rooms. And then you've kind of got a similar thing here, but it's much smaller. And there are, of course, extra vaults in the walls there. So some vaults are within vaults, but you would never have to pass through someone else's to get to yours. So you do notice the buttons all over the place, huh? Well, these buttons actually happen to open something here. Yeah. Alright, cool. Now, what's this button? I'm pretty sure. Nope. Maybe this one. Nope. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's that one. There it is. And now we're back down into here. If I just go back up to the front, this place. I can show you the entrance. Now this is, the entrance to this was originally under my castle. This door, very, very annoying. Yeah. You can go down here because most likely you're not going to know how to continue past this point if you're just walking into this dungeon for the first time. You drop an item into this corner and the stairs will reveal an opening that you walk down through, but if you don't get through that, you will eventually end up here, where I have a reversed iron door for some reason. I can't speak tonight. Or you'll meet this room. This room is, well, it's full of surprises. It's very, very, very full of surprises. I don't want to go in there. That's a tripwire. Okay. Yeah, so if you're just walking through here, what? How did I not fall? Oh, okay. Yeah, now you would kind of be in a little bit of trouble here. You fell down into this. I forgot that I had put this down here. What's the ladders for? I mean, I guess to give them a chance to get out with it, like a TP. If they could teleport or if they could fly. Either, Right. Right. That's good stuff. So yeah, we just have to get out of here. see what's going on here. Oh, what? Yeah, if you go in here, you're not going far. Is it even possible? Wait. Dang. Need my other wand. I wonder. Should have blink in here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Alright. I blinked right through it. We're just gonna say that was a successful spell cast right there. What? Oh, I'm wearing my electric. There ain't nothing in there, man. That was a... I actually legit jumped it right there. I guess if you can get it, you can have it, right? Now, I'm pretty sure there was another system here that allowed me to continue. Yeah, right here. So, I would put a hopper cart right here to fix this. Now, just block that off now. And it's looking like if I drop an item on that button, nothing's gonna happen. Right. Alright, cool. What's going on with it? Should I just refresh the redstone? Surely that's not the problem. I think I have a button that seemed to work just fine. Whoa. Ah. Ah. Alright, come on now. It's looking like, for some reason, That's not doing it. It seems to me like that one item passing through isn't being picked up. This thing didn't see it. See if it detects it now. Not one of them. And this would detect that. This has got to be able to detect a block state change here. It did. It just caught it. So what is it happening so quick? It didn't catch any of that. Even though all of it passed through each hopper. That's a confusing thing to me. I don't understand that. The this comparator should have picked up. It should pick up the pulse whenever something drops through here. But it's not. Give me just a second to figure this out. Didn't detect that. Does it detect it if I put the rail directly there? Put a hopper cart on. It didn't detect that. That thing should be this thing isn't backwards. Oh my gosh, that was some big thunder. Yeah, it is. Storming here. Do what? Alright, I'm thinking here. Gonna go with a normal hopper here. Alright, so now I'll just put a rail here and I put a cart on it. That cart, why isn't that working? That's the weirdest thing. Wonder if I connected something to it, if it would work. No, I didn't see any reason why it would. Something's wrong about this. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Well, let's see. What is it? What's going on? Yes, this is the room that it opens up to. Where? Okay, here's one. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere in here. There. It can't pass into another one. It's got to. Has this ever worked? Maybe it just needs to be. This is a tough place to go into creative because we're only too tall here. Let's try it now. No, still nothing. I don't get this. Guys, I don't get it. It picks up a block state change. Sure. That cool, right? This is not making any sense to me. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Wonder what I'm doing wrong. Nothing wrong over there. It's not the observer. There's nothing below me that would stop this from working. It's definitely not that, but whatever. I don't understand. I am supposed to use a comparator for sure. And the two should funnel to one. Should it be inverted? No. I wouldn't see any reason why it would need to be inverted. Or is that a tick thing, not inverted? That's a tick thing. I'll put this here. Ooh, nice, it triggers that. This is a very interesting thing here. I don't think I'm going to be able to figure this out right now. Go to doctor's map here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Where you got rabbits loose. Dang it, what can I do? It is thunderstorming a whole lot. Himmler built this. Yes, yes. They spent a whole lot of time on that. So this is where this whole kingdom started, right over here. Me and my brother and I started playing Minecraft one night on this server. Shortly after I had started playing with it on it again, and this was a tunnel that went off into the forest to his place, and this was my place. I had put lanterns in and all this stuff, and my house was right there. This was my first house. This is my first house. These glass panes are well, they're actually a TV. World Edit does some really weird stuff. Blocks that connect to other blocks like that forget what they were connected to, or that there was something connected to it. Yep, this is where I hung out at. This is my secret room downstairs. I used this all through Obsidian Craft up to the very end. I kept a lot of things here towards the end of that server's days. A lot of banners and things that I created. This is my room. And the second building that I made was this, which looked like a Neapolitan building, and I kind of hated it. It looked like ice cream, but inside was actually really cool. It now has a giant hole in the side. I don't know what happened there. Oh, this is Jacob's room. Sorry, had to knock first. Yeah, man, there's a giant hole in the side of the building there. We got us a brewery in there. An enchanting room. Looks like we're missing a couple blocks there. Let's head on up here. Right up here we had a lot of storage. There were so many enchanted books. Guardian, A Mistake. A Mistake was Dan and A Mistake both were members of the Obsidian Craft community. Actually, really, really cool people. Oh, didn't mean to do that. This is garbage disposal. Yeah, says keep close. More storage this way. Had me an anvil. This was absolutely loaded with enchanted books and items. This was my main storage here, and that was someone's head. Had the server owners logged in and more. I mean, obviously I know they trusted me, but if they logged in more, they would have noticed the egregious amount of heads that I had collected from all kinds of different people from all over the place. This is a really, really wild looking temple. And these look really interesting. This was my portal tower, or portal temple, so all of these led to the nether. And they still do. There is a secret area under here, I believe, or at least there was in one of these. There is a parkour area right up through here that is invisible. You start it from right here. This was really tough to build. I don't know where it started, but if I can grab one of the blocks, I'll be able to see the rest of them. They're around here somewhere. It might even actually just be easier for me to give myself a barrier, and then I should be able to see them. Yeah, you see the road up here, up to the very top. There is actually a way up there. This was kind of a really, really interesting project. Dragon Mouse and I have built this bridge here. Wow, that's some very, very strong thunder there. Very angry sky. So a little market tent, chest shop for rent, 1,000 gold a month. pretty cool. This was a building that was in the works, never really got finished. My builder couldn't figure out what to do for a roof. They were like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do for a roof on this building. So they left it for the. Then this was done by Broadband, well, known as Broadband now, but before they were known as someone else. And they had built this tower originally out of, I believe it was cobblestone brick, and this I think is red brick on the top. You prankster. This looked way different. I've since definitely given it a lot more definition and character. Not that it didn't have plenty of character, trust me, it had enough character to go around. But we have themed the inside of it. We've decorated a little bit more, worked on the stairs just a hair, fixed the walls and gave them really cool 3D designs on the way up. I was going to do that all the way up on all the walls, but I ended up losing it. This was my castle. So the first castle that I built, I actually started right here. This was the original entrance. It was much smaller than that. It looked a little bit closer to what this looks like with the. I ended up going through and adding detail to this as well, making it a little bit more 3D. But these castles were pretty much cardboard cutouts. This was a map room, and I ended up making my server map, or my kingdom map, go right here. But at one point in time, the map did spread all across all these walls. It was just way too much to load up, and it lagged us like crazy. So yeah, we 86'd that idea. So the builders actually made a carbon copy of my kingdom castle as I had it when I finished it. Well, at a certain point, and this is what it looked like. We, since then, basically let it go to waste, and I was working on this. So I expanded it, brought it out, put some supports in, lots of extra details that make it look more 3D, give it depth. Added some extra decoration details to the top. Wesley, I remember one day you were testing explosive arrows, a plugin that you were working on, and you were testing the plugin right here. I died so many times right here. Good times, good times. This is a villager breeder, old school style villager breeder, and all the doors are really screwed up right now. But inside, this is basically meant to trap villagers. Each door registers as the actual door to a house, and it allows the villagers to be able to breed with their old mechanics if there are enough doors. See, but back then the doors didn't really have to be like, they didn't all have to have, well, I think they all had to have sunlight, but they had to be valid doors. And what that meant was that sunlight had to touch one side of them. So basically we had enough doors on the sides. You see what we did there, to where it would trigger that, and we had a bunch of villagers down here in the bottom. I had a minecart down here because, well, we had a whole operation on. We'd drop villagers off right here. They would farm. We'd come down, activate these, shoot out vegetables for the villagers, bread, carrots, whatever. And they would just do their thing, make more villagers. After a while, we would need to get those villagers out of here. So we would, I think what we ended up doing was we would cart them through this and skip them over to this track and send them out this way if we didn't want them. If we did want them, we'd send them over here through the castle, and we had a route set up for that. The garden is what we call this. Now where we're at right now, I'm not sure what exactly happened with that. If I'm being honest, I don't really know. But if you want to know what it's supposed to look like, the stairs open up and then close back up. But the stairs are messed up on this side for some reason. Probably something to do with World Edit. This was built in 1.12.2 also, so you know, keep in mind that. Blumendal, oh my gosh, Blumendal. He had imported something using images into the server. Or he had made like a map and somehow had a picture. Like an actual picture. It was a map of, like, I think it was pixel art. He didn't import anything and made pixel art, and it was like a mountain with, it's like a mountain with snow on it. Mountains with snow and like a blue sky. It was really, really nice. And I think it took a couple of them. But that's a really good memory. Here's my throne. And there is, you see all, there is, I could have, yep, there is a secret place right below here that lets you down in underneath into another breeding area, and also which takes you down to a bed with a couple hidden chests down here. Now the way that worked, I do not recall specifically, because I don't see any way to trigger this. I don't, besides that button. Maybe that button. Yeah, it did something, but I don't think it did what it was supposed to. I feel like these have been, whoa, pushed down from where they were supposed to be or something. I remember this took me a long time to make. I was watching a tutorial online. There's one of my banners. Yes, it is a black banner. My kitchen's actually in here. And I'll just pop through the wall to get in there, but oh. Well, so I used, pretty sure it was over here. I put this in kind of later. I don't think I was supposed to break that, but I'll throw this. Okay. Whoa. don't know how I pulled that off either, but there's also something back here, believe it or not. I'm almost certain that I put something else in down here where I was going to. Maybe I didn't end up doing it. But yeah, that's really, really cool. This, my kingdom has hidden secrets all over it. All over the place. And some of them work and some of them don't work. You see, you wouldn't be able to access the gold behind this because the portal would teleport you through unless you used a nether pearl. This room was made of all iron. The reason I made this room at all, this is a stronghold room, and it also has a it's also got a key area. Let's see here. Only one triggered. Because it doesn't work that way any longer. You can't just run this over the top two and grab all four of them. You can't. Well, can you? Well, it looks like you sure can. But my question is, is there something wrong with the timing? I don't think this is working like it's supposed to. See, I think these right here are supposed to be... This needs to be slower. That's the only thing I can do to extend the time this runs for. I mean, I can do that. Was there like another... Oh, I think I know. This door... Yeah, okay. So you used to be able to walk through those things. And you know, that type of door, it does look familiar. It looks like that's supposed to pull back, and this is supposed to pull those. But they're being treated as like immovable. And it won't grab them. These need to be back first. Like these, this needs to trigger first on these guys, and then it needs to take a while. The circuit's not really big enough. But anyway, I made this area. The reason that I did this was because it would be really easy to use up a bunch of iron ingots that I had. I was getting them from iron golem, so I was making iron blocks. Yeah, I needed something to do with them. I didn't want to sell them all. This was I think Dragon Mouse might have made this popcorn stand. He did have some popcorn in there at one time, I think. Well, yeah, so this was my original, like this was the shop areas originally. I would rent these shops out to people. Oh, I had my own chest shops, you know, in here, but if somebody wanted to rent one, then I would usually rent it out to them for the day. They're all the same. Got goofy doors. This is a dining area. I remember working with Dragon Mouse to build this. Here's some of the members and the builders of Kingdom X. Some of the people that helped contribute towards this kingdom in person. You know, they would teleport over here. They would do stuff. Really, really cool. You know, the fella that I was talking about earlier, Broadband Studios, Broadband's on here. You don't see his name, but it has changed since then. Lego God, Longshot, Chris Lowe, ST Salty, Saint Salty. General Mouse, Dragon Mouse, X, Lakota, Himmler, thank you, I appreciate all of you. Lego Man 2004, it was really, really cool. May was the house builder, CP Army helped a lot, Nuzzboy, I remember playing with you here. Phoenix, I think Phoenix of Shadows over there. Case Raindrop, I do remember you. Harry Turtle, how could I forget that? And we've got Agent GLaDOS down here, which was a moderator for the server. He helped out a whole lot over here. And you know, honestly, I want to say that Oreo probably helped out a lot. I don't see Oreo listed here. As soon as you go down from there, you'll end up going up to this big castle which Dragon Mouse built. It's actually supposed to be Disney Castle. Take a walk inside here and see what's up. Oof, chair messed up. Wesley's chair is messed up. These things, these doors, sheesh. Mouse is really good at making stuff up. Server all messed up. That's Wes's chair. He was the server owner. Yep. This is where him and I sat. Corey, Cody, all the staff of the server. They had seats in here. Yep. They actually had their own spot in here. I liked the staff of Obsidian Craft. They were really cool. I just wish that, I'm sure things happen. They didn't have enough time or whatever, but the server owner specifically would not allow me to become a moderator or like a server owner or help anything like that. Unfortunately, I would have definitely kept it alive, kept it going, even if it would have costed me financially to do so. The server did mean a lot. He just, he said he had his reservations, and after I figured that out, I was like, alright, well, then I'm kind of just gonna, so just take it into my own hands, and, I want to see the whole player base leave before, they actually shut the server down. This castle is very large. Dragon Mouse spent a long time on this. And then I put this ugly walkway leading up to it. I remember expanding up to this area. So at one point in time, the kingdom was... So I had been flattening everything off, and it was all grass, right? Or dirt. And early on, I got to thinking, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to change the whole ground to brick, red brick. I think it's going to look great to have the ground in red brick. Well, it was terrible. It was an absolutely it was the worst idea I've ever had, and I had to go back through after I had so much built and change all of the brick over, one by one, by hand, to grass. And then I went through after the grass, and I filled in and did a lot of the pathing and stuff by hand. A lot of the pathing, most of the pathing here was done by me, but it wasn't sparse enough. There's too much. Like, I went overboard. This was the first pathing that I ever really did, and I don't know why I used this block, chiseled stone bricks, but I used chiseled stone bricks apparently. Now that I can use World Edit, I will probably go through and replace all the chiseled stone bricks, but I guarantee that I use them in other places. Well, it doesn't really look like it though, does it? Got us a little bridge over here leading to... I think this bridge is actually something that I used a schematic for from Planet Minecraft. Kingdom of X. This is the Volendam Embassy. Built an embassy in Kingdom X, where our nations were at peace. I would not participate in any of the wars that ultimately led to Volendam's destruction. I didn't want any part of it, and I was going to remain a neutral party in the entire conflict. unfortunately, the Volendam did perish. Gonna head over here to the docks. And yeah, this section here also, like this, there's a little segment to this wall, I believe, that came from MC Minecraft Online, or Planet Minecraft, yeah. And I had just gone through and I was using Schematica, but I still had to build like with actual blocks because I didn't have creative at the time. So I bought all the blocks that I needed and harvested all of that I needed, and I set up a schematic, and I went through and I would set it up and do it piece by piece for this entire wall, because I couldn't do like slash copy paste cut anything like that, but I could rotate the schematic. I was able to pull this off, got the roof mashed up, got the corners lined up like they were supposed to be, well, kind of, and it actually doesn't look bad. There's the little boats and stuff over here, ships in the distance. Got a place here where people were able to buy like fishing gear, sell their catches. There's more. There's actually a boating course through here that we would use to race. That was really, really fun. If I fly over here to this tunnel, this was one of the first things that I made, because this is the first little area that I started in, and I would go down here and wow, yep, oh boy. Alright, yep, that's enough to make you sick. Gonna get out of there, not going back in there. Ooh. If I could be dizzy right now, I would be. I kind of am. This was my PvP arena. Withers would spawn here. We had this protected so that we had the owners of the server region this area for us, so it wouldn't be destroyed by creepers, or not creepers, but creepers or explosive mobs of any kind for that matter. We had a bunch of fence posts right there, and I think right down here is actually supposed to be something in the ground. Oh, it would just trigger we would just walk over these pressure plates, and it would work, but it no longer does function, and I'm really unsure why. It looks like this doesn't push any longer. Looks like if I was to break it and do it, it might work. Nah, it don't, but it's not because it's broken. It's because I feel like we just need to replace that. Alright, so if we activated this, that's one thing, but oh yeah, this is whenever I learned I could use blocks to do really cool things. My thing is what exactly was I doing with this? Because Ah, this is Ray's house. Spontaneous Ray. I built over her house. I remember it. Whenever I came through, I claimed it. Like, I actually annexed the property because she was offline for so long and the build was inactive. Spontaneous Ray, this was your place. And I remember because of your flag. You created that really cool looking flag. And I remember that I did not rip your house down, I just built over it. Sorry about that though. Yep. It had to happen. So this is yeah. But see, I had a piece of carpet right there, I thought. But now it looks like, oh yeah, that's all working. So you step on this and it's supposed to shut those off. But they're completely active now. That's a bit of an issue. I mean, it's working, so that's great. But if I'm not mistaken, it shouldn't be live constantly. I think it's not supposed to be. I don't know, maybe that's exactly what happened right there. Maybe just a piece of sand, you know, dropped somewhere where it shouldn't have, but I'm pretty sure that I had a piece of something right here. And I had it there because it shut it off. Just like that. But why would I do that when I want it raised? The only way to shut this off, did I have a delay bank? This is technically my delay bank. Yes. Cody and Corey helped me with this too. A little bit, I believe. See, I don't think it really works like that anymore, but that will work. And what exactly is making a this? It didn't do anything to this because I'm missing a piece of redstone. What the? This shouldn't this be that way? Charge that, but this does allow it to shut off. And what do we got for the hopper? It's split 32. Alright. Now they're dropped. We can see what happens here. so they completely open now. We're gonna wait 30 seconds here, and then we're gonna try this. Alright, I couldn't wait a full 30 seconds, but I gotta try this. Step on this, it opens the gate, and then the gate has to close. Oh shoot, that's probably what I did to begin with. Yeah, that's definitely what I did. Alright, cool. Now, that has got to be grass, because it won't. Oh, it's connected. It'll grow. Yeah, the grass will grow. It'll spread. Alright, so yeah, this was the main PvP area. There's barrier blocks up top. There was a couple areas where we could hide. Made a couple little places where you know, get into places and do things. This has fallen. Should not have, but it did, and that's alright. I think I ended up replacing the dirt and grass with red sand at some point in time, while after the server had went away, after Xcraft was gone. Had imported this into my server. So this is where we make our withers, and then we would break this down and release them. We would fight them one at a time, and there's several different little secret areas in here. So like if you throw stuff down, you'll see that there should be right here's the place for the hopper cart, and if I break it, I'll place that hopper cart in and put my piece of grass, and if I throw something down right there, it should open, but it's not going to. Looks like that observer is being weird. Something with my wiring is not connecting, but what it does is really just opens up a small little room right down in here that you can go into and hide from the withers for a moment. You can gear back up, replenish your health. And this right here will give you a 4-second timer to get out, or the door will shut on you. There's also another one of these somewhere else. I thought, I didn't think that was the only room, but it might actually be. I think that is the only actual room. There's one thing somewhere with a lever on it, and it reveals a chest in the side that replenishes after every fight. That was a whole lot of fun. And the way that you get out of here is that you actually have to shoot an arrow down there on those pressure plates. That's the way that I used to get out anyway. Yeah. Those are just a few parts of the kingdom there. This is actually Kingdom X. This was my home for it. We did all of this over a period of about 3 years. We had cleared a whole lot of land in preparation for expansion. I had gone through here and contoured and terraformed all the sides here. One point in time, we used something called Epic World Generator on one of the servers, and that created terrain that looked like this. Flowers all over the place, real unique looking terrain. It was fine but it made a lot of the materials that you usually go down for too accessible, and you strip it off the top. This whole area I had cleared of trees, flattened. I was working on filling it in. I was smoothing out this this area here, and was going to put a whole another town in this area. Big plans there for this. I actually at one point in time ended up putting a large section in here, and it was the Mages District. So I had a Mages College up in here and a Mages Guild for the Obsidian Craft server. I also ran the Miners Guild. The Miners Guild building was right here. Most of us, if we were in the Mining Guild, we knew where it was. And upstairs was all the members, or most of the members of the Mining Guild. JJ Loftus, Spontaneous Ray, Figgy was part of it. Lego God. Here's Obsidian Orin. We'll just take a moment here and look here. There's Overboard the Kid and Orin helped me found this, and Dragon Mouse joined fourth. Who's the fourth member of the Miners Guild. We actually have a room up here where everyone had their beds. We had a free member item list, so everyone would have their members' items. Everyone had their bunk. Dragon Mouse, JJ Loftus, Elite Miner. He was actually an Elite Miner. This was my Guildmaster quarters, so this is where I stayed. So I kept a lot of important stuff in here, which I have most of the documentation for our Miners Guild in the history, how everything happened as well. So this was actually a building that I had found. I think that I basically built it based off of one that I'd found on Planet Minecraft. And then we have a secret door down this way that actually, you know, you get a real good feel for what the Miners Guild really is all about. So this was a place that dropped lava down into a bottom section like a mold, and then we would drop water on top of that to make obsidian, and we would do this layer by layer until this giant mold was full. Once this mold was full, we'd go through and mine the obsidian out from the inside. And if you're wondering, oh, is this bedrock? Yes, you are correct. This is bedrock. I actually had the owner of the server replace the blocks that I had here with bedrock so that I would be able to make a farm. Now, it's definitely an interesting thing. It was an experiment, and the only way to actually make it work properly was to use bedrock at the time, because it's the only thing that I couldn't mine when I was using my pickaxe, which was basically like a super pickaxe, so it mined the obsidian very quickly. Now I could have made this say I could have used something like crying obsidian, for example, and that would have been fine. I would have just had to do major repairs from time to time. I probably could have used diamond, but diamonds would have been very expensive, and bedrock was well, it was within grasp, so I used it. Now underneath here is a whole bunch of nothing. Look at that. It's really a bunch of nothing. The inside of this place is actually just a much larger version of this. This was the test, the actual test version of this, and then I scaled it up and went full scale here. This is the full setup. This is basically a hopper clock. It's another version of the one that you've seen me use elsewhere. And if you're wondering why these are covered, that's because we were having a major lag issue in Obsidian Craft at one point in time, and they were telling everyone to cover their redstone. So I had actually had a lot more here, and I simplified it to make it work. But yeah, that drops lava down, and it fills this whole area up, floor by floor by floor. And then we just mine it all out after water gets dumped on each layer to make obsidian. Because lava hits it, water hits lava from the top, it makes obsidian. Otherwise, you will make stone or cobblestone if it hits it from the sides, of course. So, yep, that's that. And no, you cannot walk into the lava. There are barrier blocks right there that would keep you from falling in. Excuse me. I did have these things in the sky. This was a lucky block head, so if a player could get up there and he could land on it without using fly, then I would give them a reward. Around the kingdom, I also had chests that I would send people in the server out to find. All around this kingdom, there were chests that were loaded with custom items that I would create for people that could find them. I did remember actually filling in this plot eventually. So this isn't the very last schematic that I could have made, but I think it's the last one that I could find. This is actually something that I copied from the hub on Obsidian Craft, and then later to find out that it was also on Planet Minecraft as well, so that's where they got it from. Yeah. So that's probably been used in a lot of servers. But I think with all of that, you guys, that's a whole lot. Showed everybody a whole lot. Hello, Alive Chicken Strip. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I think we've given everyone a real good, well, not a very thorough tour of the kingdom, but we've showed you guys a whole lot of what we have here. These were swords. There's definitely a custom room back in here. You know, if there can be, there probably is. This was technically, I think, JJ Loftus's quarter. This is where he lived for a while. It's last penny to ever be used. Spring water. Had some spring water coming in there.
you